Monday, September 15th, Bitcoin at 115,500, MicroStrategy 327.12, doing pretty good actually into close. And well, I want to talk about the fact that on our sell signals linear chart here, we wicked below the primary channel support. First, if you've never seen this chart before, I just want to catch you up. The yellow channel here has been basically containing the move since 2020, 2021. That includes this 10x move that happened right here. Obviously, we dipped below it and then we're able to recover. And then the white channel that you can see basically contains the bullish move for MSTR from 2023 through 2025 so far. And if you zoom in, you'll notice that if you think of it like a Venn diagram, basically we're running out of time. MSTR needs to choose, are we going up in the white channel or down in the yellow channel? We are currently in both, but the overhead resistance of the yellow channel tomorrow is going to be 338 and the white channel support is going to be 325 basically. What I wanted to talk about that it inspired this video is that we wicked back into that primary channel support, which to me is not a good thing, but I like to challenge myself, and you guys know me, to look at things through a new lens. It doesn't mean that I'll find something, but I did just that today. You know, I think Bitcoin is an exponential asset. I think MSTR is an exponential asset potentially because it tracks Bitcoin, right? More or less. So let's go to the log chart for MSTR and let's make a sell signals chart, right? That was my linear sell signals chart right here. Let's go to the sell signals chart log and see if we can figure something out. So this is what I came up with. If you draw a straight line, I do have it as a parallel channel right now, but if you draw a straight line from the COVID low right here, okay, the low was put in on Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. So this is a 5.5-year-old channel, a little bit over 5.5 years. And you just make that green channel. What you'll notice is that, again, it contains the move from 2020, 2021, except this is a log scale, guys. That's the difference between this chart and the previous one. Now, we did dip outside of this channel, just as we did in the linear chart as well. So down here, I'm calling this down here bearish bias. Okay, I wrote it bearish bias. And then in this channel, I think it's more of a bullish bias. Now, where are we today? Well, we just so happened to rub right up against this channel, but I also just want to zoom out real quick and just kind of show you guys. Let's just walk along this channel line so you see how relevant it might be. So you've got the COVID low, you kind of follow it along. It connects right here with that wick on January 28th, 2022, before it ultimately drops out of that channel and takes over a year to recover. It takes basically 2 years to recover. We get back in the channel. You can see how the daily candles here, it's a daily time frame, interact with this. You know, I'm calling it a channel, but it really only needs to be a trend line. But by making it a channel, I think it's telling of how high MSTR is headed should this run manifest. And people betting against it, man, I love that, honestly, because if everybody's on one side, it's probably not going to manifest, as we learned recently at that 456 top when everybody and their mom was bullish on MSTR, and then we had to suffer through what we're going through now. I think it's a resetting of sentiment, and I plan on being on the right side of it. Here we go again. The tariff sell-off, we did dip below this trend line, but the next candle almost opened up directly on it, a little bit below, and then had a massive move that day. And then here we are today. Check that out. Not only does this candle wick perfectly off of the support for this channel, I guess if you zoom in, you could say it's 1 pixel below. So maybe it went a couple pennies lower than it should have. But if you zoom out, check this out. What else do you guys notice on this chart? Did anybody else notice that that 50% line of this channel, that magnet level, was tagged perfectly in November of 2024? Do you believe in coincidences? And here's the thing that I say quite often in my videos is that, like, I take this really seriously, like technical analysis, studying charts. And if you're just watching this, you're probably gonna be in the comments like, okay, it's the 50% line. What relevance does that have? If I could like let you download the information in my brain from the countless hours, like over 100 hours easily just studying MSTR and Bitcoin easily, but also other equities, the 50% line of these channels is like a magnet for price action. So, and I mean, or it's just a coincidence, or you can just, you're a coincidence theorist, you know, good luck in life. If you're a coincidence theorist, everything's just random, right? The higher the stakes, the more random things become. Keep believing that. Because the people that have a vested interest in convincing you of that are making money off you, guarantee. But if you wanted to just go out to, let's just say this is mid-December. So I just drew a random trend line right here. Mid-December, this represents MSTR $1,080. And if you're willing to let your mind run wild, and if you understand the magnitude of the Bitcoin log chart breakout that we're on the cusp of, it doesn't mean that it will manifest, but if it does, just a reminder, we've only ever seen 4 of them. 2 were in 2013, which was 12 years ago. Then there was 2017, price ran 650%. And then there was 2020 where price ran, I think 270%. So even if Bitcoin just doubles up to 230,000 because the initial breakout was at 116,000 for Bitcoin, I mean, that's going to have massive implications for MSTR. And yes, the MSTR will be allowed to run. I'm not saying they won't sell into it and dilute into it. I'm just saying that unless you think this time's different, again, I'm not going to argue against you, but here I just cloned previous price action with MSTR. It supports MSTR going as high as 3,800 in April of 2026 without violating and requiring leaps of faith. Oh, don't worry about that overhead resistance. We'll just break that and then get off into complete price discovery mode. No, this channel supports it. And I showed you how we arrived at that conclusion. Do with this information what you will. But today, the pullback did not violate this support right here. If you're irresponsibly long MSTR like I am, how much would it be worth to you to have somebody who's in the charts daily looking for the perfect entry for shares and options and eventually looking to see if we might have topped and it's time to take profits? If this is something that interests you, I want to invite you to check out my MSTR Generational Wealth community linked below.